I'm born and raised in Denmark. So in Denmark, when you get to sixth grade, you have to take English. Everybody has to take it. So a year later, if you're good at that language, they will let you take a second language. So I took German. So I had 2 years of German
That's cool.
in high school. Yeah, that's.
I had one semester.
Well, it's enough that when you're listening to an old World War II movie, I understand some of the words. And that's about it.
I wish my school had German
Yeah.
because mine only offered Spanish and French
Yeah.
Mine had.
or ASL if you really wanted to go.
David had German too.
ASL is one I do.
In hindsight, I wish I had learned ASL.
Yeah.
American Sign, yeah.
I've learned the more times that would have been useful.
My school
I know,
had
right? Like, and it has nothing to do with that.
Spanish, English, or Spanish, French, and German. They also had Latin and Greek.
I remember
Oh,
a brother
I
and
know that
sister.
too.
Brother was deaf.
But that was
We're on two sides of the
later on.
window.
You had to have
Having this
Latin
conversation.
to get into
Sure.
your.
I remember sitting there thinking like,
I can
I'm
see
the
that
different-
actually.
I did do something I
You
couldn't
don't
do.
use any of it
Never since
because
then
you're,
wanted to learn it.
what they wanted is so that you have the right endings to the words.
Right.
You never use those endings in.
In practice.
Yeah, but you had to have take the first,
I mean, you do pharmacology, but
yeah, but no, but, I never that much into it.
what PJs do, they keep you up for 48 hours and doing an exhaustive, like you're swimming, you're hiking through some mountains, and then at the end of all of that, you've been awake 48 hours doing physically strenuous stuff. That's when they teach the medical terminology class.
Fun.
Yeah, that's about right.
Oh, and if anybody falls asleep, everybody does 100 push-ups.
Yeah.
Sounds about right for PJs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're crazy. They're fun, but they're crazy people.
What now?
Parajumpers.
Pararescue jumpers, yeah.
Yeah.
They're the guys that the SEALs call when they need to call 911.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got one.
Any news you want to share before we start up?
Is anybody online?
No, not that I'm seeing anyways.
Try again.
RMRUT 067. Probably some.
That's
Robert, sign in,
Oh.
he's the password for.
Oh, what?
Right.
sign in.
She's got a sign-in sheet for you.
Oh, cool. I'm just doing it.
I'm trying to be smart here.
Proactive.
I'm stealing it.
But that's what I expected.
That's
Thank you. My says that I've gotten everything done for the level one. I want to get this.
I just did the summary
he's,
conversation.
yeah, he's got to put it in there for you.
I just did it.
Oh,
Actually, you can put it in. I just have to approve it. Oh.
Yeah.
you put it in because I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still not getting.
At the moment. Starting with what's my AT&T password?
Why is date? More importantly, why is it not in my password manager? It should be in my password manager.
Because you use different codes for different things. You don't have just one master code.
I'm not going to comment on that. On just how profoundly stupid that is.
No.
Submit.
Yeah, so summary conversation for cadet protection. You know it already. The 2 deep leadership rule, no one-on-ones with cadets. The exceptions are things like O flights, which you're not gonna, like you're not a pilot.
No.
if you're driving and you have 2 cadets, that's another exception.
Yeah.
I don't know what the health services rules are. You're on your own for that one.
Yeah.
Runtime error.
We always try to have, you know,
Yeah, I think usually you try to.
take that. Teach and be willing.
It's one now from the last time you were in. There's a lot more electronic communication now. Always an email. Always try to copy another senior member. I just copy Lieutenant for cadets. You know, if it's a project where there's obviously another senior member involved in the project, then you know that's the person. Services like Facebook, never DM, never send a private message.
Right.
All communication just stays on walls where everybody.
Yeah.
Or do what I do and just cadets on Facebook.
Give it the temptation.
Because the last thing you need is for a cat to send me a direct message. Somebody walks over for the show. Oh, they're sending a direct message to Captain Hawk over Facebook.
Yeah.
I participated in this conversation, but yeah, now I'm having yet another argument.
Which is also a thing that's happening on Discord too. So, but I doubt you're going to be using Discord.
And that create their own.
Stuff like that, but I couldn't get it to.
So that's just like,
Yeah.
I think Facebook's the only social media you use. Right? Do you have any other?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so just like direct messages, just don't for cadets.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
So there's really nothing new.
No.
I mean, there are so like at encampments, right? The cadet protection policy has been expanded a little bit. This isn't a part of the summary conversation for you because this gets into like TLC, training leaders and cadets, and
Yeah.
like cadet programs, blah blah, more like activity planning. But like senior members do not bond with cadets at all in the
Right.
discussion now. Like back at Desert Hawks 1 through 4, like the TAC officers were in the bays with the cadets.
Oh, we were in there
Really?
too, you know? Yeah. The
Uh,
medical staff was in there too.
Okay.
Yeah, like,
But, I mean, we
but
had
that
the
is
cadets in one end and we were in the other.
right, but that's a hard no now.
Yeah. No,
You're
I-
not even in the same bay. I mean, we're on a window. You can fit maybe 6 scrawny kids in one.
Yeah.
Room, but I mean, if you want to give them room to walk around,
Is that Wi-Fi still working or no?
Yeah.
Got it.
I think I have to actually get into my AT&T account and deal with it.
Right.
No,
All right.
I can kind of understand that in this day and age.
So that's a change situation. And also, 18-year-old cadets cannot bunk with under 18-year-old cadets. That's
a
another
good
That's
one.
fine.
Yeah, that's another change that has been made.
I think we had he couldn't go in the showers and couldn't bunk in the same.
Yeah, they had to.
I don't remember what
Colonel
happened.
Fernandez told me about that one. We had to give him like.
And this was his basic.
It was his basic encampments. We had to give him the senior showers for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, when we were doing it, it was like when the kids were at chow, that's when we used the showers.
Yeah.
So, you know, to,
Well, yeah, now the, it's around 5, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you're familiar with the indoor facility. We have an entire.
Yeah.
Seniors, so.
Submit path approval, submit path. Pending,
And that's
needs
me.
your endorsement, and then
And by the way, on your cadet programs thing, I distinctly remember asking you to write up 2 things for me that you never did.
I did.
No, you didn't. If you did, you never sent it to me.
That's possible. That is possible. Can you find that file?
Anyway, so yeah, there's your summary conversation.
okay, perfect.
Super easy because you were a member.
Well,
That's for you.
yeah. And I also apply the CYB. Cover your butt. That was the nursing one,
Yeah, well, make sure,
you know,
and make sure they're covered too.
but you know what I mean, you have to make sure that you look at it from everybody's point of view, so there's no.
We are a lot stricter now about 2 deep leadership than we were in the past.
Yeah.
Because in the past, like 1 person and like 50 cadets, like, yeah, you're fine. Now we want a second senior there.
Yeah.
Encampment kind of becomes an exception just because there's so many moving parts. Like you're
Oh,
doing
yeah.
well if you can have 1 senior there. But yeah, anyway.
Did you try turning it off and turning it back on?
Anyway, if you're going to encampment, please submit your paperwork.
Do you have anything for me to do there?
Probably. Like we're kind of short on training officers, especially female training officers.
The problem with that is I can't be out there on the streets and people are running around and stuff like that. I'm a little too old for that stuff.
I would be a training officer, but I can't get that week off.
There was some drama around our health services officer suddenly cutting out on us, but I think we found another one. I'm not sure. You can reach out to Colonel Fernandez if you want to, or Colonel Stewart.
I can try to reach him on Discord.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, Fernandez is on Discord. Stewart isn't.
Yeah.
Stewart is only kind of peripherally aware of encampment until like May 21st. Because the Halverson Foundation's eating all of his time.
Yeah.
So it's me and Fernandez running the show right now. Nobody's died yet, so apparently
Well, at this point,
we're not completely failing at the
it's a
job.
little bit more difficult. Once we get out there,
We've already been out there for 1 weekend and nobody died, so.
It's hotter than Hades. In the barracks,
No,
on
it's
there,
not.
any kind of air conditioning out there?
It was last summer,
Yeah, last summer.
like in the middle,
We
like
had a lot of heat stress.
a lot of heat stress and the hottest day of the year.
For
Yeah.
Utah,
Yeah,
Well,
It was the
actually,
same there
It
as
was
it was
Utah
here
and
in Salt Lake.
Nevada, yeah.
I posted it to Facebook and my brother was here in Salt Lake and he's like, yeah, it's the same thing here. So, yeah.
but you have.
it's not warm until it gets to 120.
Oh, keep your mouth shut.
I don't want to be around when it's 120.
No.
if it's 90 or above,
Robert?
we don't go outside.
90s,
If you
Robert,
can possibly help it.
Robert, not
Hey,
trying
just
to
90s
play you,
nice
but
and cool.
you get hot just from the cold. It's like 120 is warm, but not hot.
Let's see.
Anyway, yeah, so that's all I've got. I mean, yeah, that's all I've got.
I set up an office downstairs,
Okay.
so I'm gonna go troubleshoot this
Okay.
down there. I'll let you get on with your lesson.
Alrighty.
I'm trying to turn down the volume.
Now, those lessons there, even though I'm not on level 2 yet, do they count for me as well?
They can. I will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't have recording, you know. So yes.
You might need to email the link out for Teams.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you might need to email the link out for Teams. I don't think anybody did that this week. And I don't think most people are
Yeah.
actually in Teams and looking at the calendar there, so.
Yeah. True.
Well, the ones that I've been to, you know, I might as well get.
Yeah. Understood. I just.
Come on. Bozo.
Need to pull up e-services.
I got my trolls here. I like trolls. You can come down, or you know, you have to like those little butters.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm Danish on my dad.
Oh, how far down?
Uh,
And do you know where in Denmark?
no, not as well as I know the Welsh connection. A lot of Joneses from Wales and Ireland, that area. And so mine, and I've never met anybody that has an ancestor from Glamorganshire in Wales, which is surprising to me since that's a port town.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm also Swedish. Don't remember where the Swedes come in either. But my grandmother's side is the Danish.
So do you know what city they're from? What area they're from?
Torvald Ibsen, that's a pretty Danish name.
Yeah.
um,
Totally.
mhm.
Yeah, I'm totally bilingual, so. Totally took when I came here.
Yeah, I would have to look at the genealogy again. It's been a while since I've been in doing.
Yeah. But, see, I'm from a small island. The island where Hans Christian Andersen was born.
Oh,
There
okay.
is about 3 islands below there,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm from one of them.
Okay.
And when I told my granddaughter about that, she was writing, in 6th grade, they had to write a thing about a country.
Uh-huh.
And so she told me she wanted Denmark, and this other boy had said, no, I've already taken Denmark. And she said, but why did you want Denmark? I said, because the flag is easy to draw. And she said, that's not good enough. My grandmother is born in Denmark. So, and I have my great grandma, she's over there.
Mm.
So yes, I got lots of family and stuff like that. And he said, well, I guess you have more right to it than I do. And she said, by the way, the Swedish flag looks exactly like the same. It's just yellow and blue. Okay, so he took that.
All right.
Well, I'm Irish, that flag's pretty easy too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But
All right.
I still keep up on what's going on over there a little bit, you know.
Yeah. So tonight's meeting is mentoring. Would you mind reading off that?
As a mentor, you can make a lifelong impact in someone's life. So I would call on us to embrace membership. Small jobs, big jobs, it doesn't matter. But the first the personal investment, the personal interest in one another to help each other to be successful will help them to be satisfied as a member of Civil Air Patrol.
And part 2 of that quote.
Oh,
That'll probably help. That's part 2 right there. So if you wouldn't mind just reading that off.
I read it. It'll help them be successful in their particular job. It's going to help your organization. Okay, yeah, that isn't it. Help your organization to be all that more efficient, and as a result, that level of excellence that we're looking for in mission accomplishment is going to be there all the stronger because we have invested in each other as mentors to help them be successful.
All right. So that is a quote from Major General Smith, who used to be our CAP national commander. And he obviously found mentorship to be a major topic that's beneficial for the CAP as a whole. So now we have a mentorship program. Today's DLOs are to define mentoring.
What's the deal? Daily.
Something directed learning outcomes or something like that. I don't know. To identify resources available to mentors. To explain how mentoring applies to cadets and senior members. To discuss the role of unit commander in the mentoring process. To discuss the different types of mentor-mentee relationships. To discuss the traits of a good mentor and a good mentee. To discuss the role of the education and training officer, me, in the mentoring process. To discuss how to find and choose a mentor. To know what to do if mentoring relationship is not working. And that's it. So, mentoring can be described as an informal yet structured conversation where a mentee can discuss with a mentor issues that they would like to explore related to career aspirations, current job role, or any other topic of relevance. The role of the mentor is to help the mentee gain clarity on actions that they would like to take to achieve their goals, helped by tapping into the mentor's experience, skills, and knowledge. It's a mouthful.
Yeah, but it makes sense.
So to break it down, a person with greater experience and wisdom guides another person to develop both personally and professionally. They help them to achieve mission success and motivate members to achieve their goals. They also promote a climate of inclusion that can help foster and develop diverse strengths, perspective, and capabilities of all.
For somebody else to read.
Would you mind?
No. CAP uses formal and informal mentoring to professionally develop members based on the needs of the mentee. Mentor-mentee relationship is a collaborative effort that relies on two-way communication and feedback to reach goals and objectives.
This is the from national to us down here in the bottom right corner mentoring program team. You don't even know any of that.
They had the same thing in level 1.
Yeah, it's crazy that they even give you this much to deal with, unless you're actually managing mentors and everything else. You don't need to know any of the else.
The hierarchy.
Yeah. It's about you. What does your unit have a mentoring program?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
I am developing it as we speak, but
Yeah.
yes. How effective is the program? We don't know yet.
One
We,
thing.
we don't have any way to metric it yet.
Let me tell
Yes.
you, one thing that I know is when I first got into CAP many years ago,
Right?
it was like, you're this, you're that, you're this, and nobody had any idea where to find anything, any information about it and stuff like, that was just your job, and they didn't care what you did with it.
Yep.
And so I think they have come a long ways. This right here is gonna be perfect.
Yes. I do agree. It's come a long way from back then where you were given a position and you had to literally look up every single regulation or
Yeah,
thing that was related to it, and you had to Google it and everything. Yeah, it's crazy to expect anyone to have to do all of that work.
yeah,
Having someone else in a better knowledgeable position teach someone else. I mean, that's how cadets do it with the flight element leaders and
yeah.
flight sergeants and their whole hierarchy. Why not do it with everything else, right?
Yeah, and I
One
like
would
this,
think.
the level 1, level 2 and stuff like that you get a basic education over what's going on.
Yep.
All around. So that, I know that there was a lot of senior members back then, they didn't even know how to salute. And I mean, you get that kind of a salute, and it just,
Mm-hmm. Well, in September, we're gonna have our drill night, so
I think that's
hopefully we'll have some better drilling ceremonies after that night.
good. Yeah, but you gotta admit, there's a lot of times where the senior members don't know when to salute and when not to.
Yeah.
And they, when we're in uniform, do we salute the flag?
Right.
Yes.
Depends on which uniform, though.
Well, if
See,
if
that-
it's one of these, you definitely do.
Yes.
I don't think Polson Graves you do.
But the blue
But what about the
BBs,
blue BDUs?
They would salute. That's an
Mhm.
active uniform.
But that's also a corporate uniform. So
yeah.
There's
there is something
Yeah.
I need to
Look
do
out
some
for
more research on and
No,
be able to
but
teach
that-
you
that
on
is
drill
good to
night.
know.
Yes. Yes,
But-
it is.
But is there a problem with just going like this?
yes.
That's what I thought.
It stems from military tradition. I mean, the salute was originally to raise your visor as a knight to show you didn't have any weapon in that hand.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're in a formal uniform representing the United States, you want to absolutely make sure that you're telling everybody that you are serious about your oath to, as a military person, serious about your oath to protect and defend the Constitution from enemies, foreign and domestic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's one of those things that, I knew that when you were in blues, you had to.
Yes.
And, but as senior members, if we're in our,
The
aviator shirt,
Yes.
Mhm.
That's a formal uniform.
that would be considered formal uniform?
Yep.
Okay, that is one that I have never gotten an honest answer, because, I don't know,
I'll do some more research and I will teach you guys that on drill night.
Yeah, that would be great, because, it is one of those things, and, I'd just like to know.
Yep.
I don't want to be the fool there standing there doing the wrong thing in front of everybody else, and especially when we're out and about.
Right.
It's one thing when we're here,
Yeah.
but when we're out and about in front of other people, you better know what you do, so you don't look like the fool, because if you look like the fool, the
The whole
whole,
organization looks like a fool.
everybody looks like a fool.
All right. So mentoring can be on any of the following: specialty tracks, promotions, emergency services, advancement in role, and professional development, and more. So and it basically just repeats that a second time. I don't know why. Connecting with subject matter experts. So if you have an issue and you know someone is very knowledgeable about a certain subject matter, you can go to them and see if they'll mentor you on that subject matter. Flight operations, emergency services qualifications, coordinating with other functional areas, dealing with difficult members. So how would a mentor deal with a difficult member?
Usually the best way that we learn from customer service is to listen to the person's complaints and not engage the person about those issues. And then to dispel that, tell them what you can do to help them. We're obviously not able to do things that we don't know how to do ourselves. And if a problem was with a particular person, take them to that person via the unit commander, Allison Carlisi, and say, this person has this problem, and if it's a problem with you, there's personality conflicts. You want to get that out in the open and escalated so that everybody can get the help they need to get the issue resolved.
Okay. And others. Don't know what they put under others, but whatever. So, when should you get a mentor?
As soon as you become a full-fledged member.
Thoughts?
Anytime you're a member and you get into any of it.
Anytime you have a question, maybe?
That
All
too.
right. Yeah.
That's a good jumping off point.
So what kinds of things can mentors help you do?
I'm thinking primarily of advancement as you can help show the information, how to search for the information. I mean, we've got a lot of regulations, we've got a lot of information. And usually it's easier to search, and there's a way to search. And that I got while I was in school for my associates. Is looking, our librarian showed us how best to use the search engines to, like, you don't write sentences when you search. You put in keywords to get you to what you're looking for. And if you get too long a list, then you got to add another keyword to narrow the list. And so giving people that information on how to helps them to get in and finish it for themselves.
Okay.
I was gonna say, the thing is that happens a lot of times, like, let's take the level 1.
Mm-hmm.
You get all of these units that you have to do and you go like, wow, that's a lot of stuff, and, a mentor will say, just take them one at a time.
And narrow the field. Something is more necessary than others, right?
Yeah, but just, get them one at a time and then, then that's out of the way. That's out of the way.
Yep.
And do it that way, because there's some people that just very easily get
Overwhelmed.
exactly. And when they see all of these things that you have to do, you go,
One thing I do really like about this new learning management system is that they do have that checklist for the levels, and that makes it easier for me to just go down the list or go up the list or
yeah,
organize it in some way, right?
yeah.
What about you?
I don't know.
What kinds of things can mentors help you do? Let's rephrase this. what kinds of things can a mentor help you do right now? Like what could help you? If we could get you a mentor for something, what could they help you with?
God, I don't know.
Would you need a mentor for anything?
Well, I'm sure I would. It's just that right at the moment, I can't think of anything that,
Okay.
I mean, not that I know everything, because I know I don't,
Right.
but I just can't think of anything right at the top of my head
All
right
right.
at this moment.
Yeah, that's fine.
But, okay, a question I have. Now, you can come across something that you're doing by yourself and stuff like that, but you come across something that you don't understand, you can then, for a short period of time, go to somebody and say, hey, can you help me with this, because I don't understand it. And it could be a short mentorship.
Yep.
Or it could be a long one. It
Yep.
kind of all depends on what you need. And sometimes you can need different people for different things. Because he might be good at tech stuff, but he doesn't know about nursing.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, you know, we all have different things that we know and can do. And so in order for our unit here to do the best, we have to take a little bit from everybody and whatever that is to get to where we can be better.
Mhm.
And it's, everybody puts in their little nugget of gold there,
Mhm.
so that we all can get up to the next level.
So what are some traits of a good mentor?
Knowledgeable.
Okay.
And they don't tell you everything or hold these long conversations that could be
Don't
put
shotgun them with it.
in 3 words, you know, type thing. You know,
They're not
Have a fire hose.
Water, fire hosing you.
yeah.
I know, because I have a tendency to do that.
Yes, he does. And a lot of it goes right over my head. And he knows it. I've told him many times.
So what would be the hardest thing for you to tolerate in a mentor?
I would say for me, it's somebody that just brushed you off, gave you a quick answer and
Yeah.
flipped an answer,
Doesn't have time for you.
and yeah.
All right.
Or if they don't want to listen to what you have to say.
Yeah. How can they understand what you need if they don't? If they aren't an active listener, and I know that
Yeah.
term comes up a lot, but
Okay. Yes. What are some traits of good mentees, and what would be the hardest for you?
Willing to learn.
Okay.
learning to ask questions is finding a hard one. At least to ask the right question.
Okay.
But there's a problem there because as a mentee, you don't know what the right
question
the
would
right
be.
question is.
Yeah.
And there again, that's when the mentor
Has to be an active listener.
the active listener, and he has to say, I don't think that you understood this correctly. And then they lay it out for you.
Right.
So it's a give and take, no matter, you know, both sides.
Okay. What can you do if a mentoring relationship is not working? And who can help you?
Training officer.
Okay.
Go to the training officer.
All right. Yeah. So, the characteristics of a good mentor are that they are supportive, supports needs and aspirations of the mentee. They are patient, They are willing to spend their time performing mentoring duties, and they are respected. They have earned the respect of their peers, CAP, and or the community. Your responsibilities as a mentor would be to assist mentees in setting realistic career and developmental goals, to share their professional experiences and knowledge with the mentee, to provide information that will assist the mentee in learning about the culture and values of CAP, to provide constructive feedback to the mentee about their perceived strengths and developmental needs. They also point out opportunities for the mentee to develop and demonstrate capabilities, as well as pitfalls to avoid. They can coach the mentee on effective problem-solving techniques and leadership skills, and they also encourage, motivate, and build the mentee's level of self-confidence.
Can you go back one?
Sure. One more?
One.
Got it.
So how would you assess a mentee's strengths and developmental needs?
So they'll
Just
usually tell you, hey, I'm trying to get blah, blah, blah rating in blah, 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 specialty track.
Right.
Just from that information right now, you can already figure out, hey, this person's probably going to need this pamphlet, which will list off exactly what they need to accomplish and how long it should take.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just couldn't think of it off the top of my head. But yeah, that's a good answer.
So a lot of the back and forth of the mentor-mentee relationship is going to be all about the communication that you have between them.
Okay.
So really reaching out to your mentees, say, hey, what are you guys working on? What are some goals that you'd like to set for yourselves? What can I help with? A lot of that information that you get from those conversations is going to be setting up your goals and strengths and developmental needs for that mentee.
Okay, that makes sense.
You will also help the mentee to expand his or her personal network of subject matter experts,
Mm-hmm.
and help arrange special assignments. That I'm not sure of. I've never heard of that before.
I would think that has a lot to do with emergency services
Okay,
and helping to build the team for
makes sense.
for
All right,
events.
etc. You are also going to teach by example and serve as an unbiased coach, confidant, and advisor. And you're going to maintain confidentiality with your mentee. So this is how the mentoring program works. Would you mind, if you can?
Right.
I know
Okay.
it's
I'm
pretty-
gonna. Yeah, that writing's a little small. Members register to be either a mentor or a mentee. Mentors complete interviews and training. Accepted mentors are added to the database along with the mentees. Mentor and mentee are paired with one another. Mentor-mentee meetings commence. Mentor-mentee decides when engagement ends, and evaluation of the experience, and decide on the next course of action.
So let's think of this in the scenario that you brought up earlier, the very short mentor-mentee relationship. They're not registering to be mentors, mentees in the national database, right?
No.
No. Don't need to. Mentors complete interviews and training.
Well, like what I was telling you about, I don't understand this in
Mhm.
this, you know.
That's the whole interview right there.
Yeah, these radios, I don't have the foggiest idea what they're all about and what they're, that is something that I can read from now until doomsday, and I would, because it does not really interest me that much.
Right.
So, but I need to have a base for it. So I need to have somebody who can kind of help push me in the right direction on that.
Right.
So I can pass the test and then forget it.
Yep. So
Sorry,
the,
but-
the training would be the mentor going and saying, hey, this is what you need to do, right?
Yeah,
That's step 2 right there, done. Accepted mentors are added to database along with mentees. Blah. Don't need that.
no, I don't think so for a short,
Mentor mentee are paired with one another. You already found your pair already. Done.
yeah,
Mentor mentee meetings commence. There's only going to need to be one. Done.
yeah.
Mentor mentee decide when engagement ends. At the end of the engagement, right there. Done.
When I pass this,
Exactly.
When the person has no more questions.
Exactly.
yeah,
Evaluation of the experience and decide on next course of action. That's up to you and whether the mentee or
Is
mentor
ready
needs
to
to
go on.
be, needs more afterwards or,
right. Yeah, but this one, I want to finish this one and
Right.
pass this one,
right.
It's one more thing to do.
So I think this is more for the
I think for the
more
bigger,
formal, getting like specialty tracks
Right.
done type of mentoring program.
but I think that it's nice that we can come here and sit and figure out what it is that we need.
Right.
Right now, I need this one so I can pass
Move
this
on to the next
and
thing.
move on to the next thing, because it's too hard to open up too many portals here in all of this.
Mm-hmm.
And, so let's just get one thing done and then go to the next one, go to the next one, go to the next one.
Right.
But next time there's something that might be one of you that I need to talk to.
Right.
You never know.
Everyone knows, everyone has different strikes.
That's the thing. And that doesn't take away from any one of us.
Right. So, what about cadets? Do they need mentors?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Currently, CAP is changing the cadet program. There is now a phase 5. According to the new CAP pamphlet 40-08. This is the starting of the Spots Association mentoring. This is going to be the transition from cadet to senior member phase. See? So, starting in phase 3 and phase 4, cadets are going to be mentored on mentoring other people.
Good.
And in the future, cadets are going to be mentored by cadets or senior members. That's literally everything that they had on mentoring for cadets. I don't know why.
Now, in a situation like that,
Yes.
when a senior member is mentoring a cadet,
Yes. What about CPP?
mhm,
You gotta follow it. You gotta get somebody
Yeah,
else to
I'd
come.
still follow the 2 deep leadership, and
I think, yeah,
technically you could have a primary and an alternate mentor
Mhm.
position
Yeah.
for that type of relationship,
Or at least
just so that
at least have another senior member in the room.
right.
yeah.
When
but
you're
it's-
conducting meetings, yeah.
Right.
That's the thing, that it has to be a little bit of a tricky situation.
Right. I do think that the Spots Association mentoring is a online thing that the cadets can sign up for.
Oh, that's even better.
And the senior members and the
Yeah,
mentee they'll be meeting online to do their mentoring, to transition
Okay,
and to
that's-
mentor their
That's a good,
alternates.
that's good.
Would that also include teaching your new alternate, I'm safety officer, Senior Airman Thomas is my cadet equivalent?
Mhm.
You know, would that be include teaching them how to make presentations, be the one that chooses safety?
I would say
topics?
that would be included with the mentor-mentee relationship.
Mhm.
It's part of the program to have a cadet alternate, equivalent rather. Just like IT has an equivalent cadet ITO position. But I would still follow CPP at all times.
Yep.
It's protection for you as well as for the cadet.
Yeah, we mostly talk at meetings for everybody.
Right. Okay. So these are questions that a mentor may ask a mentee. Can you tell me about your background and experience? How do you use your skills on the job? Which skills do you want to develop? How can I help? Next one, I want two of you to pair up. And one of you will assume mentor and one of you will assume mentee. And I want you, the mentor, to ask the mentee the next set of questions, and the mentee will respond. Just as a mock relationship. Okay. So who's going to be the mentor and who's going to be the mentee?
You want to be the mentee?
Sure.
So what attracted you to your specialty track and CFP?
My nursing background.
Okay, that's good. 6 months from now, how would you like to see that you've, or see what do you want to see accomplished in the next 6 months?
Come up with a program that actually will, I want to understand the program so that I can utilize it for what it's supposed to be. Going back to what I talked about before, like, you know, when we just, you are this, you know, had no background in anything whatsoever, they didn't care, you know, that was your job. I was safety officer for 3 years. And I had my senior rating. Okay?
Wow.
Yeah. I did that on my own. But it was not hard to do at that point. Now, I want to do the same thing again, but I want to know all the if, ands, and buts about it. So what I have done is I'm starting to download all the recs that goes with that program. And that's a heck of a lot. And, you know, so that I have that to look up, because let's face it, none of us remember everything, and especially regs, we don't remember, we kind of, yeah. But if I have my book here and it says safety on it, I can look in my book and say, you know, these are the regs that they were talking about. So, you know, and then I can come up with a better way of finding out what it is. You come across something that you don't remember or you have not come across before, you can go there and you can look it up.
It's hard to get trial by fire. I mean, last summer I was the safety officer in Cameron, and our first fire, which is an incident, you know, trying to fill out the report, trying to get it right for
Yeah.
a squadron level safety officer to accept the report. And
At the wing level.
the wing level. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, the
What
wing.
did I say?
Squadron.
Oh, okay, one level. That was an education.
Yeah.
Risk
They were going back
assessment.
and forth for a few days after, trying to get it right.
But this is why that I want to know all the if, ands, and buts about it, and I want to know where to find it. You know, so that I can go to that rig, look it up, and, oh, this is what you want.
I had to research it.
Exactly, instead of having to wait till you can come across that problem, you already have the book there that you can look up, so in a very short time, you can look it up and find out what it is you have to do.
Yeah, because there's actually a form that follows, and once you found the form, you know, and just go back through the risk assessment and,
Yeah,
you know, interview people, gotta make sure you get everybody, that's one of my mistakes, that witnessed it.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a task.
oh, it is, but, you know, that's the thing, that I have been away from it for a while and then coming back into it, you know, I realized where you know, all the differences and stuff like that has happened. But I also realized how much I didn't know.
Yeah.
And that was a lot. And so I am trying to not have that problem again.
Good. So, third question.
Oh. What would make learning about this topic a positive experience for you?
To teach me where to look them up.
Okay. How to search the regs
Exactly.
and how to search the forms, and then how to go through the analysis process.
Yeah.
Okay.
What should I expect from you?
That I will do the work
Okay, it's a reasonable expectation.
and that when I come across something I don't understand, I will go back to you and say, hey, this is not something we've talked about, but this right here, I don't understand what they mean by this.
Okay. Okay, so we can go and we can look that up together.
Yeah.
And make that positive. One of the things too that I would expect as a mentor is any questions you have, bring them to me as soon as they come up so that we can keep you moving in
Yeah.
the process.
Yeah. And that's where I think that having somebody's phone number,
Oh, yeah. Contact information.
you can call and say, hey, I just came across as I was reading all of this nonsense here, you know, all these regs and stuff like that. And what they're saying there does not make any sense to me. And since you have filled out that form before, just,
Yeah.
I'm picking on you here, but since you filled out that form before, you know, what do you do when you come across this problem and you have to fill out this form?
And the risk assessment for CAP is much different than when I was an industrial hygiene assistant on the job.
Yeah.
Very, very much different in how you do the risk assessment, the process.
Very good. So, some tips for the mentors. Try to if I can talk.
I can read it.
Okay. Thank you.
Try to eliminate interruptions during meetings such as phone calls, visitors, visible reading, and work materials. Provide quality meeting time, giving full attention. You may have to get out of your office to do this. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta show people where things are and
Yep.
everything.
So the mentor should listen carefully to the mentee and resist the urge to talk too much or solve the problems. Rather, encourage and guide the mentee to new ways of thinking, challenging the mentee to stretch their abilities. Relate your own learning experiences, special anecdotes, exactly like how you did with your encampment experience, and trials whenever appropriate. The employee not only learns from your errors, but also realizes that no one is perfect.
That's a
So-
hard thing for people to accept nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, so,
So during the meeting with your mentee, don't just wing it. Have a plan.
write the plan down so everybody knows the expectations.
During the first meeting, you should discuss and reach an agreement on responsibilities and expectations. After the meeting, the mentee should work on the goals as recommended and agreed. During the second meeting, discuss your mentee's goals and what should be expected. After meeting, the mentee should draft the desired goals and get the mentor's input. I don't know why it says supervisor. That's stupid.
They stole it from something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plagiarized.
Yep. Anyway, after the meeting, the mentee should draft desired goals and get the mentor's input. This should probably include, what are they calling it now? STEM, STAR, something goals. Has to be like specific, timely, measurable,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. That should be the form that the goals should be written in.
Okay, that makes sense.
Meeting 3, you should discuss and finalize the progress of desired goals. After the meeting, the mentee should begin work on the first steps towards achieving the desired goals.
Training said too.
So for the mentee, this should be your plan. During meetings 4 and beyond, you should discuss how the developmental activity is going, as well as any other experiences the mentee wants to share. The mentee should also continue to work on achieving the desired goals and applying gained knowledge and insights on the job, possibly just completely redoing the cycle over and over again with new, better goals.
Yeah.
Because the
revised
next set of
goals.
questions from the mentee is going to tell you as the mentor where they're at
Right.
and what they need to do next.
Exactly.
Because they may be stumped at what they need to do next.
Exactly. Periodic review. On a periodic basis, more often at first, the mentor and mentee should discuss how the mentoring relationship is working out, agree on improvements if needed.
And it's little kick in the butt to the one that's not doing the job.
Mm-hmm.
Reproving becomes a shark.
Should be clarifying issues during these meetings. Explore issue from the mentee's perspective. You should explore options with the mentee. You should focus on the discussion, pull thoughts together, and discuss feasibility of suggestions. Confirm the decision or action. Agree on actions and discuss the next steps, including the date and time for the next meeting and goal deadlines, etc., etc.
So like milestones in a plan.
Exactly. So active listening. Don't talk, listen, understand. If you can't listen, you can't listen if you are talking.
And also, one thing that some people do is you can see by the immediacy of their response that they didn't hear what you said and that they were thinking about
Something else.
reacting to and explaining, justifying their actions of inability to do something.
Right. So imagine the other person's viewpoint. Picture yourself in his or her position, doing his or her work, facing his or her problems, having his or her values, etc. Look, act, and be interested. Don't read your mail. Don't doodle. Tap papers while others are talking. Observe non-verbal behavior to glean information beyond what is actually said to you. Sometimes they may be folding their arms, impatient, or
impatient or afraid to ask, or
exactly
close to your input is usually what I think of when I see the arms closed.
Yep. Don't interrupt. Allow the person to speak to completion before speaking. Speak only affirmatively while listening. Resist the temptation to jump in with an evaluative or critical comment or a story of your own at the moment a remark is uttered. Confine yourself to constructive replies until the context has shifted and criticism can be offered without blame. Put down phrases discourage sharing. People tend to react negatively when someone implies a judgment or criticism, especially at the beginning of a relationship. At the end of your formal... That's
Not
dumb.
have anything.
It changed.
Oh, okay.
It changed font size halfway through mentoring. At the end of your formal mentoring relationship, you're gonna want to evaluate the progress and success of the relationship. Establish an end date and completed achievements where the mentor and mentee will agree that the relationship has advanced as far as it can, goals have been achieved, or the formal mentoring program has been completed. At that point, the mentor and mentee should acknowledge the successful conclusion of the formal relationship and look forward to staying in touch informally as colleagues and friends.
Yeah.
If you have any questions or questions, you can use the chat box. This is for official mentors like yourself who signed up for the mentoring program.
Yeah.
You can use a chat box if you have any questions about that program. You can email input, stories, or mentoring program successes. Some reading materials for the mentoring program. CAP pamphlet 40-7 and CAP pamphlet 40-8 are the mentoring program materials. And you can find more information about the mentoring program at that website that's displayed there. I will wait until you are done writing.
Thank you. Wow, that's a long one.
And I've also got the email at the top too, mentoring@nhq.gov.
Okay. CAP NHQ National Headquarters. Oh, Q. Oops. That's slashes. Search engine is so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess what's really important is searching on CAP-University.
So if you go to the gocivilairpatrol.com, under the members tab, there will be a section called CAP University, and then you go to education and training, and that's that page.
Okay. I guess I should
And-
put the members.
Supposedly, there's a chat box on that page too. I don't know.
Yeah, somebody
So,
monitoring that 24/7.
maybe. Any questions that you may have about mentoring? No? Is anyone online? I doubt it.
That's why I gave up full support. Well, yeah, that's a computer and a tablet combined with a touchscreen. Although I had a tough time.
I don't see anyone online.
Touchscreen.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I'm not very good with computers.
that's the
Well, I
end of
started
the
from beginning,
mentoring.
But I am so out of date now. It's
I know who the computers my dad David.
cool.
Maybe you guys could ask him.
I do.
Oh,
Anytime there's a problem, I call him and I ask him.
That's
oh
a
yeah. I thought you said you did know. You know of them. I was like, I think your dad helps you.
Oh, yeah.
and that's a lesson for you to learn too, is to always ask questions to somebody.
Yeah.
That was something I didn't learn when I was your age.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did my senior, just like you, the senior rating for IT all by myself.
Yeah.
It was no fun.
Well, that,
Never
And I
is.
can see why the goals, because in my specialty track, I haven't set goals and I'm not meeting anything,
Yeah.
so I'm not progressing.
Mm-hmm. And the mentor should definitely,
Be
You know.
the person.
hey, you're not doing what you need to do within blah, blah, blah time. Keeps you motivated, right?
Yeah.
will you do that thing for me? Saying that I've now had to exit the interview with.
I've already put it in there. I'm just waiting on his approval.
Oh, does he have to do that?
Mhm.
Okay,
Also,
I'm just trying,
Alrighty, I'm gonna close this out.
but that doesn't mean